button.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I just got some chores done, so that always feels good. I had a really early start today, so I shut my computer at 4:00, and then I had like, I had like a thing I needed to get a junk guy to come and pick up, and I needed to move a table to another
all those
person's
things that
house,
don't take very long, but
yeah,
they
and then I needed
together
to put
take
together
forever.
another table, and
Yeah.
so I got it all done in like an hour and a half. So
Good for
I'm feeling very proud of
you.
myself. I'm like, oh, I have like 10 minutes to spare before.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
would feel very victorious.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think for things like the junk guy, I still have like a hurdle of it, like must be like my Midwestern, like, oh, you can't pay
Save it because you
somebody.
might be able to use it one day.
I'm not that way, but I'm like, pay a guy to come and pick up something from my house.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I'll like draw on a friend and get all, whatever. Like I'll put in the hours of labor and logistics rather than paying the $50 for the guy to come get it.
Yeah.
So I paid the $50, Mary.
And once you pay it, you're like, wow, that's the best $50 I've ever
Yeah,
spent.
exactly. It was so sweet. The guy like came and took this junky thing that my landlord should have removed from the property to begin with, but this junky like wardrobe, I guess, that was kind of falling apart. So we had him take it away, and he actually came in and swept up. And I was like, oh no, you don't have to do that. And he's like, it's part of the service. Here's my card.
Old school. Wow.
Old school.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But you also bought yourself and whoever might have helped you a good hour and a half. So,
yeah, exactly. At least. Yeah. And then they also delivered a table I donated, and we could have taken it apart, put it in my roommate's car, and then put it back together. But I was like, maybe these guys could just take this table as is. So that I support and work with this house for trans women here in DC, like a collective. So they needed a table. So
awesome.
It was a nice table, and I was kind of dragging my feet on it. I didn't need it, but I was a little bit dragging my feet on donating it. But I was like, you let go of things, they come back, and nice things come back into your life.
2-3-fold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the time.
Yeah.
And the being free of the thoughts of it, it's like that weighs you down so much, and you don't even realize until it's gone. It's
wow, so I kind of like
never think of that table again.
Bounced up the stairs, like, yeah, exactly. I know there are some things that I give away that I think, why did I give that away? But it doesn't happen that often. But
yeah. Well, good for you. So are you starting to feel kind of
we're feeling pretty settled, and we finished our roommate interviews. We have 3 people who are interested in living with us, and one knows my roommate from work that they've done together, so he's our top choice, but his move is contingent on him getting a job offer from Greenpeace. So we're giving him until May 31st. And then if he doesn't get the job offer, then we're going to person number 2. So it's kind of nice to have some choices, and I don't know, be thinking about it. They're all very different people. So it's like each of them, I think, as we all do, right, have like pros and cons about what vibe they're going to bring into the house and interests and stuff like that. So anyway.
Well, I admire you for even considering the idea of living with somebody else. That in itself is just horrifying to me.
Really?
I mean, I've lived alone or with my daughter for so very long. I just, I mean, the idea of ever getting in a relationship, they would have to have their own space to go home to.
Their own house.
Like, no, I just can't. I mean, I have friends who have done that and being married even in on different continents even, but, or at least in different cities. And, one of them
kept living their own in their own homes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think
I mean, I've known people who've lived
that.
like next door or down the street.
Uh-huh.
And it is like the best of both worlds, because you know, once you move in together, it's like you're there. And which for most people, I think, is the expectation, and they make it work. And then there are those people that are like, you know what, I love this person and I want them in my life, but I just can't imagine opening every single door. And
I mean, I guess I've known a lot of people who have like separate bedrooms, or, you know, definitely separate parts of the, you know, this is my part of the house, this is your part of the house, but I don't know. Oh, there's a really pretty red cardinal out my window.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen a cardinal out the window. It's been raining here, so the birds are like super loud, to the point where I like sit near an open window. People have said, like, I think I've said this to you too, Mary, like, oh,
do you have a bird?
Yeah, do you have a pet bird?
Oh, that's so nice. That's one bird that I really miss here. We don't have red cardinals.
Yeah. And he's just out there singing. He's just like calling to somebody. I don't know who. Out on a telephone wire.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I saw the picture of Dawn standing at Riverside. Are they on?
They're on their
honeymoon, but whatever,
24th honeymoon trip.
Nice.
And they're at what's the funny, like the Mackinac or
Mackinac Island? Are they in Michigan?
No, they're not in Michigan, but they're at like a name of a developer, like a hotel, or it's not a resort, but like Kate is probably laughing listening to me describe this, because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. But it's like a funny Kanakakak something or other, like, and then they kept saying it over and over again. Oh, like, yeah, have you ever been to the one that's out here and there? And then, no, but I've been to the one. And apparently they restore old buildings. So one thing they were describing was one of these places that they went had like a boiler room that had been turned into the cocktail lounge.
Oh, fun.
I can't remember the name of the.
Are they out in the gorge, or?
You know, I don't even know where it was geographically. I don't know. When you guys start talking about places, it's just like you're off, and you know, you all know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, I don't know which.
Well, and they get around too, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, you think I would have written it on a. I do take notes. We were laughing yesterday. It was just me and Dana, and she's getting involved in being a conservator for her estranged uncle's estate, and he's in the VA hospital. So she's having to like meet with lawyers and go to court and stuff. And, you know, Dana's like, I'm a hippie artist. I don't know. I don't understand all of this stuff.
The left brain, right brain.
She said, I need a little button that said, she successfully avoided trouble with the law. So I wrote that down. I thought that would be a great t-shirt to get for her.
No kidding.
She successfully avoided trouble with the law.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so I can't find where they are. I do often like write down stuff on little Post-it notes, but then I
whatever's close
sometimes throw it away. Anyhow, so they're back. And we haven't heard from Astrid in a couple days. I don't know if she's I guess her mom's home and they're, busy doing,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, the last time I was on, she was, her mom had gotten home
Mm-hmm.
and, I mean, maybe just a couple of days. And I asked the question, but I don't think it got answered of when she was coming home.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Did that
think it
ever
might be
get?
soon. It's probably, I have such a terrible memory. It's probably soon. Yeah. I can't do Friday, so I think I'm going to text everybody and say we'll take Friday off as well. It's Memorial Day weekend and folks for my
Oh, this Friday. Oh,
this Friday,
okay.
yeah. I can't do
Okay.
loving
Oh, right.
kindness. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
I
not
just-
going out of town or anything, but people are getting the weekend started early and
Yeah.
we can finally all get together. So
Yay. So you didn't have any fallout from your second vaccine? I think that was when I last was
yeah,
on.
actually, so I got the second one and it was funny. I was describing, I didn't turn on my alarm the next morning. I was like, I'm gonna just sleep in. I cleared my calendar and I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning and I felt like I feel okay. I think I'm okay. Like I'm like checking, like no headache.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Five fingers.
Yeah, exactly. So I was fine the whole day, and I did get fatigued kind of in the evening of that following evening, but I think very mild, and to the point where like maybe this is just Friday evening and you're tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I did, yeah. So I took it easy and I was fine.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good. And I forgot you got Pfizer or
Moderna.
Okay.
Moderna. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, that's good. And yeah, do you have plans for do you do Memorial Day stuff or
Usually, but I don't have any plans this year. I just talked to Abby this morning. She had her 21st birthday last
Ooh,
weekend, and I
yes.
think is still probably recovering. But I went
You
down
were
on,
thinking of, did you drive up and
I did. I drove there on Friday and then ended up spending the night. And I took a cake and then was planning to go and just be with her Friday. Birthday was Sunday, but she had her party on Saturday.
Mhm.
So her friend had come down as well. And so the three of us with Brian, her boyfriend, basically sleeping in the background the entire time, just cleaned and got her, did all the things to get ready for her party and
Oh,
had a great
good. So
time.
she
And I
hosted
came
in her
back.
house. She hosted
Yeah,
the party at her
her
house.
little tiny apartment.
Okay.
Yep. So
Oh, fun.
I basically got back on Saturday afternoon and thought I'd lie down for a minute or two and then got up on Sunday. So I was more tired than I realized, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it was good to be with her. And
Well, and if you're still having trouble getting around, Mary, that must have been
yeah,
the
it was
drive and then spend the day cleaning. That must have been a lot.
it was a lot, but I was really glad I went and just to kind of be there. And he's leaving for California in a couple of days. And so that
For
whole
the summer.
dynamic is, yeah, well, for the
Mm.
rest of, I think it will be the end of their connection.
Oh, like he graduated and is leaving?
Not at all. No,
Oh.
he didn't even take any classes this term. So he's been doing zero. I mean,
Okay.
literally zero.
Okay.
So
mom and dad are making him come home or?
Well, I think I'm not sure why he's going home.
Uh-huh.
But I think that they have decided that his being there is, or maybe she's decided or whatever. But
Right.
anyway,
Right.
He's going back and then they will not, I am guessing they will not, their lease is until August. But she said this morning she thinks that someone else has already rented out her apartment. So that whole thing she's got to figure out for next year. But she's very much of the, well, it doesn't affect me today, so I will not worry about it.
That can work.
Okay. So that's kind of where I am. I'm like, I mean, she probably will. I mean, she'll want to be on campus
Mm-hmm.
in the fall, and I think that they are going back.
Mm-hmm.
With a caveat that everyone has their vaccine, and she has. So,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
I'm
And
assuming
she's staying there this summer, or she's
she is, and she just was offered a job where she's doing her internship, and they basically came to her yesterday or today and said, we don't want you to work anywhere else, so here's what we're willing to do. And it's just
fantastic.
like the absolute perfect thing for her. And they've asked her to take on it's a new facility, and they're going to be offering birthday parties, and they want her to take over that whole part of the thing. And she's going to be working with, I think, whatever the youngest is, not
Mhm.
0, but
Mhm.
movable months old.
Right.
To,
Right.
I
Yeah,
think
that's her
she
sweet
said
spot. Yeah, she likes the little-
3rd graders or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all
Oh,
things,
nice.
yeah.
And she starts right away next week.
She's been doing her internship and been working there,
Mm,
the hours
okay.
that they can give her.
I see.
And they basically said, we want you to run all of the summer camps. And
Mm,
I mean, it's being a new facility, they're still kind of deciding
right.
who
Figuring
and
stuff
what they'll
out.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's pretty excited about that.
That
So,
does sound exciting. That's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to make a trip back to New York to be with my dad while my stepmother goes away for 10 days. And
Mhm.
so all my siblings and I are trying to figure out who's going to be there when, and
Mm.
what we're going to do. And we'll probably go down to Virginia to see my sister's new place. And so
Mhm.
maybe we'll give you a call.
Yeah. How far is she from us in Virginia? How far, or the DMV? I forget.
She's about, I think, 20 minutes from Lexington.
Oh,
So she's in
okay.
Glasgow, which no
Yeah.
one seems to know where that is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little hazy on a lot of Virginia. If Dana was here, she'd know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
It's always a bigger state than you think it is. Like you think, oh, it's not that big a state, and then you're like 4 hours later, it's like we're still in
we're still
Virginia.
here. Right. Yeah.
What's going on?
Pretty wide state.
Yeah, it is pretty wide.
I think it's not, like, maybe an hour something from your son. So not,
Mhm.
Probably. So then it's again, however far it is to
Right.
you. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about an 8-hour drive from there to where my dad is.
Okay.
And we had thought about taking him down again. But my sister was like, he's so 1000% dependent and reliant on my stepmother being around. I mean, even if she's in the house, dad's always like, where is she? And so, and she'll be gone. So, it's that whole.
So she's visiting with her family. Is that?
No, she's taking her. They own an island up in Maine, and
Okay,
they're doing their summer family event, and they're all going. So
right.
Yeah, so it'll be great because she won't be there, which is really lovely. But it means that we're trying to coordinate who's where,
right,
and how long Abby and I will be back east. So
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it feels weird to be planning summers. Yeah, it still feels surreal.
It does. Yeah. And I mean, I'm just coming to accept that flying is okay. I'm still pretty nervous about it. But well, you've flown, right?
I have, but at a time where I was nervous about it, and at a time as well, both ways, I quarantined, not quarantined, I self-isolated when I got to where I was going. So, when I came, when I went out, I didn't feel like I had much exposure. because the plane was empty. And so on my way back from California, it was packed. We were like sardines inside that plane.
Oh,
So
boy. Yeah.
when I got back, I self-isolated for 7 days and then got a test. So I
Mhm.
mean that's where we were in the pandemic at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was only the end of March, right?
God, that's amazing.
um
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, my stepmother or stepsister just flew out from Seattle.
Mm.
And I mean, they've all been vaccinated, and she has been vaccinated. But, and my sister's a PA and just like totally on top of
Mm-hmm.
who's what and where and how
Right.
safe it is. And she was like, I mean, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, no one will ever know, but I did interpret for this thing for it was for the mayor's office in New York City, and it was all
Yeah.
about,
You were about to go to that the last time we were on the
yeah,
line.
and
Yeah.
it was fascinating. It was basically the community of faith for BIPOC, and or however the other way around, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was around the vaccine mostly, and the fear, and what we as people vaccinated, fully vaccinated, meaning 2 weeks after
Right.
your second, or a week after the first, if it's J&J, but can do and expect, and what we can do with the 4 pillars of the vaccine, isolate or distance and mask and everything.
Right. Right. Right.
To overcome that. And the most interesting piece of that, this was a physician who was doing most of the presenting. And he said, the biggest thing that we can do to overcome the fear and the resistance is listen. Don't go in with, this is why you need to do it.
Right.
But just listen to
Meet
what
people where they are. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think that's certainly something that we can take everywhere, but at the same time, it's like, what are the fears, and what is the resistance, and is that based in anything that we can kind of unwrap and together come to a place that is going to benefit everybody?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
I think it's going to
good.
be interesting to see what happens with these lotteries. Are they doing that on the West Coast too? There's like
No,
3 states, Maryland.
or not that I know of.
I don't think Delaware, maybe Maryland, New Jersey. And anyway, but they're putting up like $1 million ticket. So like if
Oh,
you
right.
go and get vaccinated, you get like a lottery ticket, and they're
Yeah.
gonna draw it on 2 weeks from now or something.
That was one of the things they said. I mean, there are new cars, there are $1 million. I mean, there's all sorts of prize money. And I mean, I guess if that's what speaks to people, then
Yeah.
I hesitate to think that somebody who's not necessarily a lottery person, I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to take a combination of a lot of different.
Probably. I've just seen a little bit on social media here, people, like in mutual aid circles being kind of bent out of shape. Like, well, I got my vaccine and I'm not eligible. I should make everybody,
really,
eligible
did
to
you
get the
look at
lottery.
why they're doing this? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so, well, shall we get going, Mary?
Sure.
Yeah.